non-stop live updates we're picking up from inside the PMLA court, where Nawab Malik has been produced after he was arrested by the ED officials. In the latest development that we're picking up from the court premises, he says ED officials came to his residence and summons was served in a short period of time. So Nawab Malik inside the court now, leveling all of those allegations against the Enforcement Directorate, saying that they first detained him and later recorded his statement that he was asked to sign on the copy of the summons at the ED office by the officials. So you have arguments that are essentially being presented by Nawab Malik as he is currently inside the PMLA court. He's been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, this is certainly an important case that the ED is looking at. The ED has arrested the NCP leader, Maharashtra Minister Nawab Malik in an alleged money laundering case against Dawood. So raids that have been going on the past few days and now resulting in what's happened today, and we're tracking non-stop developments coming in on this big story. Nawab Malik, who's been presented before the court, says ED officials came to his residence and the summons was served in a short period of time. That's what Nawab Malik has to say inside the PMLA court. Now remember, it is ASG Anil Singh who is arguing for the Enforcement Directorate. On the contrary, Advocate Amit Desai, assisted by Advocate Tarak Syed, who are arguing for Nawab Malik. On your television screen, some of those visuals after he left the ED office and before he was produced at the PMLA court. Now, this is certainly in relation to connection with underworld Don Dawood Ibrahim in a money laundering case, and he's now been taken to the PMLA court after his medical examination was conducted. 8 a.m. onwards is when the interrogation began, is when the ED officials started questioning him this morning. In fact, it was last week when ED had conducted raids at the residence of Dawood Ibrahim's sister, Hasina Parkar. Ankit is also joining us with the latest we're tracking from the court. Ankit, what's going on there?
Kritsween, I can tell you right now that it is the Additional Solicitor General who is arguing on behalf of the ED. He has just started, but a short while before that, Nawab Malik was granted 5 minutes of time to speak with his lawyer, and then he was put in the witness box and he made a couple of arguments. Nawab Malik, speaking for himself, said that the procedure of the ED in terms of how they asked him to summon the document after having detained him was improper. That is the main point that Nawab Malik seems to be raising. That is something that the NCP has also been saying on his behalf, and so that so far appears to be Nawab Malik's main contention with regards to his arrest by the Enforcement Directorate, which happened about an hour and a half to 2 hours ago. He's in the court right now, and his main argument was that he claims that he was forced to sign the summons papers after he had already been detained. Remember, he says that since 6 a.m. in the morning the ED is at his house and they picked him up and they took him to Ballard Estate, their office there, and then they have been questioning him. It appears to be more like 8 o'clock when it began. This is of course an ongoing case. On February the 15th is when the Enforcement Directorate had made a number of raids with regards to properties that were linked to the D gang, and now after that, in a linked case to that, a Prevention of Money Laundering Act case, Nawab Malik has been arrested, NCP leader and Maharashtra minister. We are also awaiting, Kritsween, like you have been telling us, the emergency meeting that is set to take place, that has been called by NCP Supremo Sharad Pawar, that is set to take place at 6 o'clock, and we'll be live from on the ground there. But right now, we are taking you through the arguments of the Enforcement Directorate. ASG Anil Singh, appearing for the Enforcement Directorate, says the property she acquired will show how she acquired. One, Munira and Mariam are actual owners of this property. So the discussion is going on with regards to the property that Nawab Malik is alleged to have acquired from a convict in the 1993 Mumbai blast case, which was... Now, Nawab Malik is in court and he's saying, like we've been telling our viewers, that he has been forcefully brought to the ED's office. He says, Nawab Malik says that in the morning, he was forcefully brought to the Enforcement Directorate's office. He is citing the fact that he is a minister and hence he should have received summons first. He says that had he received the summons, then he would have cooperated, but there was no need to forcefully bring him to the ED's office. Nawab Malik has also claimed in the court that he was forcefully made to sign the summons papers after he had already been detained. So this appears to be the main contention of Nawab Malik, forcefully brought to the Enforcement Directorate's office. There is also right now the ASG is reading from the remand of other accused in the case. That is currently what is going on. The discussion appears to be around the property that was allegedly acquired from a 1993 blast convict. The statement has been recorded as she is the sole owner of the property after the demise of the parents. So right now the Enforcement Directorate's advocate, that is the Additional Solicitor General Anil Singh, he is arguing on the basis of the evidence that the ED has with regards to the chain of property transactions that Nawab Malik is embroiled in and is implicated in, over which he has been arrested. He is. This is where we are at currently, Kritsween. We are getting more updates from the court. Over to you.
Yes. All right. Keep tracking those developments from the court for us, Ankit. I'll come back to you in just a bit. But Sudeshna is joining us live from outside the ED office. We saw Nawab Malik, when he came out of the ED office after being interrogated, waving at the media and, of course, sending out a message. But what's going on there, Sudeshna?
We are standing right outside the ED office where Nawab Malik was brought early in the morning. An interrogation that went on for over 8 hours. The minister was questioned about a plethora of things related to the PMLA case. When he was coming,
going to bow down. In fact, in the presence of the court also, he has mentioned that he is actually being forced to give a statement. He was brought to the ED office forcefully when he was actually ready to cooperate with the investigation. Right now, the proceedings are going on in the court, and we are being told that he will be brought to the ED office after the hearing is over. Back to you.